Hey everybody, so today I want to talk about what to do if you have a power outage that's going to last more than say 8 or 10 hours and you start thinking about food in your refrigerator spoiling or not having power for a long period of time where you have no lights you can turn on. There are some options out there and I have one you might be interested in, so let's get into it. So I'm about to kill the main so everything's going to go dark. And then we'll take you out to where our backup source of power is at, and you can watch it run and you can see how it powers everything. Here we go. Okay, so we're out here in our well house and I have a backup source of power here. This is what I want to talk about. This is the Pecron E2000 and this is a battery backup unit, and also it's a solar generator, so you can hook solar panels up to this and charge it back up and be charging it while you're cycling it. So you can be powering your house, your refrigerator and things like that while it's charging. So it's a really cool unit. And what we have here, I'm gonna show you. Here, let's turn this camera over here. We have this box right here. And this box is for backfeeding our big generator into our house. And we have this large cord that hooks into that. So this is powered into this breaker, runs back to the house. And you can see that we are set up right here with an adapter to this 30 amp plug. So the cool thing about this is this plug actually bridges the two sides of the 240 or of the 110 to the 240. So you don't really get 240, but it'll power both sides of your breaker box. So all your 110 works in the house. So let's plug this in and we'll watch our power meter change. There we go. So we are pulling 0 watts right now. Okay, we're cycling up. All right. So we are going to go inside the house and show you that we got power. For one, you know, we got the main off and I got that hooked up. I now got power out here. So I'll show you, I'm getting ready to flip a light switch on. Our main breaker's off and we're only running off of our solar backup unit. So there we go. The light functions. The refrigerator is working. Lights on, it's cooling. So you can see that we have the main off and we're out here right now. We cycled this up and our refrigerator is cycling and we're only pulling 108 watts. So that's powering the refrigerator and the freezer combo. And that'll run 14 hours at 91% charge. So think about that. That's pretty much all night. This is just a base model. So you can add to this unit. There's another battery backup that goes on the bottom of this that will actually add 3,000 more watt hours. This is a 2,000 watt hour unit. That'll add another 3,000 watt hours. So take it to 5,000 watt hours. And you can also take this unit and add a second battery backup to it and tie them all together. And it'll run 8,000 watt hours, which would literally run the refrigerator freezer combo for like a couple of days. So without any power input, and then you could put up to 1,200 watts of solar power back into just this unit. And if you add the other battery backup to each one of those, will take an additional 400 watts, putting you up to 2,000 watts of solar input. So you could be running your whole house on this pretty well, minus your 240 volt stuff, but your 110 volt stuff, like all your stuff like microwave, coffee pot, you can run your washing machine, you can run. You can run your lights in your house. Now, obviously, you're going to have to manage your power consumption. So you're going to have to think about, what do I need to shut off and what do I need to turn on so I'm not depleting my unit? But you will have 2,000 watts almost of input to at least 1,200 with just this unit if you have all 6 solar panels hooked up. So you can run 2,000 watts of input. You can be charging this during the day while you're pulling some power for your fridge, freezer, and running some lights in the house. So it makes a life-saving backup power storage unit for those grid down type scenarios where you're looking at maybe an ice storm where your power is going to be out for a week or two. You hook this up, you get your solar panels out, and next thing you know, you got power and you're back on. So we got 2 chest freezers running. We have the refrigerator freezer combo running and a couple lights on in the house. And you can see with all of that, we're only pulling 266 watts. and that'll run 5.6 hours on a 90% charge. That's with no solar input. So if we had solar panels hooked up to this, you know, we would be charging this right now and maintaining no problem while we were powering the house. So here's our unit. This is the Pecron E2000LFP. And the cool thing about this is you do not have to have a big port like what I have for my generator to feed your house. You can individually plug things in. So you have 4 110 wall outlet style plugins on this, and they are all storm flap protected, which is pretty cool. And then you have USB style ports for charging. You have USB-C and regular USB ports. And then also you got 12 volts. So it'll do like cigarette car lighter for your refrigerator cooler style camping coolers and stuff like that. It'll take that. So this is a great unit for camping and outdoors as well. Not only is this good for having battery backup for power outages and storms, this is also awesome for camping and outdoors. So if you're into that, this right here is a good secondary option. You know, you keep it for your primary for camping and outdoors, but you can use it for battery backup if you have storms and stuff like that. It also does have the 30 amp RV plug in it. So if you wanted to plug an RV or do like what I did where you hook that up and can power your house with it, if you have a way to put a plug in for a generator or for an RV style plug, you could power your house with that. So that is another option. And then it has your DC input for your solar ports. So you can put solar panels, and you can daisy chain panels up to this. And Pecron makes some really nice foldable portable panels. But you can daisy chain those, and you can put up to 1200 watts. So you can buy their 300 watt or their 200 watt panels. And most standard panels will work with this. So you can run several panels making up to 1200 watts, which is 600 per channel, and charge this. Feed your house as well as discharge at the same time. And it does come with a 500 watt wall charger as well. So if you just wanted to buy it for battery backup to begin with, because like I said, this thing will run a refrigerator freezer combo, a larger one. We have a fairly large refrigerator freezer combo, and it'll run it for like 18 hours or 19 hours on a full charge. We'll put a link in the description below to all these products, Pecron E2000 power unit, along with the battery backup and the solar panels. We do make a small percentage from every purchase from our Amazon affiliate, but it doesn't affect your price. You pay the same price, and it does help the channel. That's without any solar input. So that right there could mean the difference between your food spoiling or not. So, I mean, you could monitor that, plug in and unplug it as you need it, and keep your fridge freezer cold while you're, you know, pulling food in and out during a power outage. So, and then having those solar panels to be able to feed back into it, you know, you can start out with just a couple. If you just put 400 watts or 600 watts into this, could offset your use for your refrigerator freezer just to get started for those storms that happen and put your power out. So that's the Pecron E2000. We do plan on purchasing some of the battery backup units and expanding this. And when we do, we'll do some follow-up videos. I think we'll get some videos of this thing running with all the solar array out too, and you can see us hooking that up and how it runs the house. So this is Fire Shield and Shelter. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If this is the kind of thinking that speaks to you, hit subscribe. I'll be covering gear, prepping systems, homestead tactics, and off-grid survival. Don't get caught off guard. Let's get ready together.